good day to all in the real world as well as virtual reality. My name is Matthias De La Rosa. These are my English teammates Colin Benton and Dave Kirby.
The argument as to whether FPS video games are violent has long been a hot topic. Some people say yes, but research tends to point in the opposite direction.
In an academic journal on video game violence, there was a quote that stated, "One may enjoy killing online, but would reject the idea in the real world." This suggests that people know the difference between the two worlds, the real world and the virtual world, and don't cross that boundary. People are just looking as for a way to escape from the real world by playing these video games and know enough to not create violence in the real world, which would suggest that they know the difference between right and wrong in the real world and the virtual world.
According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the definition of perceived is defined as to take in or apprehend with the mind or senses. If we look at a game like Fortnite, this is what people are doing, but at the highest level. Perceiving a game has no correlation with the realism of acts of violence that are produced.
For many years, gamers have been in search of the holy grail of video games. And whatever that may be, an article stated that video gamers strive for entertainment and heightened involvement that increases their enjoyment, essentially proving that gamers are more sloth-like rather than cold-blooded killers.
Speaking on enjoyment and entertainment video games, this brings us to a new spectacle and sporting tournaments, and that is esport tourneys. This is where teams and individuals come together to compete with one another for cash prizes and bragging rights. This has brought about a whole new interest in the gaming world, bringing together young men and women from all over the globe to compete.
There is also the concept of escapism. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, escapism is defined as the tendency to seek or the practice of seeking distraction from what normally has to be endured. According to a survey done by Jared Newman, survey respondents said video games were more likely to help them forget about real-life issues, express themselves without fear of bullying, act on feelings they can't in everyday life, and increase their self-confidence.
Although the gamer does feel an increased sense of social realism when playing against a friend, as opposed to a stranger or computer-based player, the line between real and perceived may be a little blurry, but it still has no indications or implications to real-world violence.
Such games like Fortnite have started to move away from the violent killing atmosphere. Yes, you must still dispatch your opponent, but the developers have glammed it up with bright colors, outfits, and dancing. One could argue this is numbing gamers out to the actual act of killing, but it still hasn't the blood and gore that was once associated with the violent first-person shooter.
That is not the only type of benefit we see from a game like Fortnite. According to Chris Stiff, Doctor of Psychology at Keele University, we examine how playing low-involvement video games with an outgroup member may reduce prejudice. And perhaps something a lot of people don't realize is the cognitive benefits from playing games like Fortnite. According to Stiff in paragraph 6, he also states that playing video games has been shown to enhance brain function and efficiency. We also see growth in areas like reaction time and spatial awareness.
With games like Fortnite, we are starting to see a new era. One more influenced by video games where we have teenagers winning $3 million in tournaments. Fortnite represents the start of this new era. It was the first game to grow to this size, and it won't be the last. Although this is exciting, too much of anything can cause harm, and I don't think Fortnite is an exception to that. So here's my question to you. Do you think that Fortnite is a bad game that incites violence, or are people merely using the hype around it to push an agenda?